Have you figured out who's really behind Damien's murder and the frame job against Nick? We think we might have. Young and Restless murder mystery is in full swing right now, but everyone on screen seems to be innocent despite the ongoing finger-pointing amongst the guests. Who is the real killer then? We think the culprit may be someone that no one would ever consider. Much like Young and Restless fans, we've jumped from theory to theory as we try to solve the mystery of who struck down Damien Kane just as we and Lily were getting to know and like him, and who would then try to frame Nicholas Newman for the murder. Right from the beginning, we guessed that Spoiler really killed Damien, but they've since denied it. They may still prove to be the guilty party in the end. But we're setting that hypothesis aside for the time being. We also questioned if Spoiler is playing a high-stakes game with Kane. This is looking less likely due to Nick's involvement, but it's not an argument that can be completely discounted yet, based on what was said in dialogue. Coming up, Young and Restless spoilers have Victor and Chance confronting a new suspect, but whoever that turns out to be, we're sure they won't be the culprit. No, this is going to drag on a bit, we're positive of it, and then a big twist will come at the end. That massive twist brings us to our latest theory. Colin Atkinson is alive and is the real killer. Young and Restless had to have brought his name into this for a reason, right? Where, you may wonder, could we possibly be going with this? Well, if Colin had been lurking in the hedges, he'd have seen Kane's misery over Damien and Lily, and he'd have heard Nick threaten Kane, killing two birds with one stone. The former mob boss could have taken out Damien to make sure Kane gets his happily ever after with his ex, and framed Nick to take the fall as payback for his bullying. Setting up the Newman would also hobble the powerful family and help Kane's bid to take over Chancellor, and would ensure that Kane won't go down for the murder. As one viewer pointed out, Colin would also possess the skills required to get the job done. Heartbreakingly, Colin's portrayer Tristan Rogers is battling cancer, but the soap vet just popped up on General Hospital as Scorpio and could have already taped scenes at Young and Restless to wrap up the murder mystery. Do you think Colin is alive? Vote. The murder that shook Genoa City when Tucker McCall was found dead at the Chancellor estate. The fallout was immediate and fierce. Though controversial and manipulative, Tucker had recently been on what appeared to be a path of redemption or at least reinvention. He'd formed an uneasy alliance with Audra, attempted to reconnect with Devon, and even made overtures of civility toward Ashley. His sudden death stabbed with a letter opener, and found slumped over his brandy glass sent shockwaves through every social and corporate circle in town. The suspects, a who's who of Genoa City power players. Ashley Abbott had been erratic and mentally unstable, with unresolved trauma from her past with Tucker. Audra Charles was furious after being cast aside in a business deal that cost her everything. Devon Hamilton still harbored resentment over Tucker's manipulations and his attempts to break up Hamilton-Winters. Victor Newman, well, let's be honest, he always could if he wanted to. But none of them fit. None of them quite felt like the killer. That's when the whispers started, the clues that don't add up. Detective Chancellor has been under pressure from all sides to wrap this case quickly, but he's not rushing it because something's off. The scene was almost too perfect. The body untouched, no fingerprints on the weapon, no signs of a struggle. Security cameras in the estate had been mysteriously disabled 15 minutes before the estimated time of death. Whoever did this was calm, calculated, and invisible, and the security logs. Wiped Kleenex app for a mysterious entry. Visitor, E. Sinclair. That's when jaws really started to drop. Enter Alina Dawson. Yes, Alina Dawson, the dedicated doctor, the kind-hearted healer, the one who always does the right thing even when it breaks her heart. On the surface, Alina is the epitome of stability and integrity. She broke things off with Nate when his ambition overshadowed his loyalty. She's patched up more wounded souls than anyone in Genoa City, both medically and emotionally. She's not a schemer. She doesn't plot, she heals. Or so we thought. The secret connection no one saw coming. Here's where things start to get real twisty. A newly unearthed detail from Tucker's past has turned everything upside down. Years ago, while operating under one of his many aliases during a corporate takedown scheme overseas, Tucker had an affair with a woman in Atlanta. She never told him she was pregnant. That woman, Elena's mother, which makes Tucker McCall Elena's biological father. When Elena recently requested a sealed paternity test under the radar, using lab contacts in a neighboring state, she was already on the trail. She'd started digging into her own past after her mother fell ill and confessed the truth in a haze of medication and pain. The confession didn't come with names, just hints. A powerful man, corporate shark, and the phrase "he left us before you were born." Alina didn't believe it at first. But as she started cross-referencing timelines, photos, and eventually got a DNA swab from an old glass Tucker used at society, everything aligned. She had proof Tucker was her father, but did Tucker know? The confrontation that changed everything 2 days before Tucker was murdered. Sources confirm Alina met with him privately at the clinic after hours. According to security logs and a nurse's statement, they spoke for nearly 45 minutes behind closed doors. No one knows what was said, but a nurse later overheard raised voices. Alina was visibly shaken after the meeting. She left in tears, forgetting her phone on the counter. When pressed by Chance, Alina insisted it was a routine checkup for a minor injury Tucker sustained. But now, with the DNA test coming to light, her story is full of holes. Could it be that she confronted Tucker with the truth? That he denied it, rejected her, perhaps even mocked her? Tucker wasn't known for humility or grace under pressure. A rejection that cruel, from the man who should have been her protector, could have been the final push. Motive means opportunity. Let's break it down. Motive: deep personal betrayal. A lifetime of lies. The chance to right a wrong by eliminating the source of her pain. Means medical knowledge. Alina knows how to stage a crime scene to look like a robbery gone wrong or an accident. But instead, she let it look personal. A message, a warning, opportunity. The only security footage shows a mysterious visitor signed in as E. Sinclair. Elena's middle name is Sinclair, a name she rarely uses. It's a clever cover that only a few would even recognize. Still, it's hard to imagine Alina, of all people, committing murder. She's never shown violence, never lost control, or has she? Cracks in the comm. There have been subtle signs of Alina unraveling over the past few months. Since her breakup with Nate, she's thrown herself into work obsessively, pulling double shifts, ignoring friends. She's turned cold, emotionally distant. Then there was the incident at the hospital gala. Alina, usually composed, had a strange exchange with Audra that ended with Alina muttering something under her breath. Some people never learn what it means to take something that doesn't belong to them. Was she talking about Nate? Or something deeper? What if Alina wasn't always as serene as she seemed? The cover-up or the crisis? And yet there's another layer. Some fans believe Alina might not have meant to kill Tucker. What if it was a confrontation gone wrong? What if she confronted him expecting closure or connection and got cruelty instead? Maybe he lunged, maybe she defended herself. Or maybe he laughed, called her a mistake, and she snapped. But that begs the question, why the cover-up? Why hide the body, disable the cameras, sign in under an alias? That's not self-defense, that's planning, that's control. That's someone who's thought this through at least enough to believe she could get away with it. The fallout: what happens? Now Alina hasn't been arrested. Not yet, but the walls are closing in. Chance now has the DNA test in hand. Audra, always a step ahead, overheard Alina on a call discussing a mistake she couldn't undo. Devin has begun to question Elena's odd behavior, and Victor, let's just say he's putting pieces together in that way only the mustache can. And if Elena did do it, the real heartbreak lies in the why. A daughter, searching for identity, love, and truth, only to be met with rejection, disdain, and betrayal. In the end, Tucker McCall may have orchestrated his own demise by being the one thing Alina couldn't heal: a toxic legacy. Final thoughts. A twist worthy of soap royalty. The Young and the Restless has delivered shockers before, but this is a gentle, beloved character secretly being the product of a powerful villain and, possibly, his killer. The kind of twist that rewrites everything we thought we knew. The final puzzle piece may still be out there. Maybe Alina had help. Maybe someone else was there that night. Someone who encouraged her to confront Tucker. Or worse, pushed her over the edge. But one thing is certain: Genoa City will never look at Dr. Alina Dawson the same way again. And neither will we. Stay tuned, because, in a town like this, even the healers have scars on sometimes. Those scars bleed.